Graphing straight lines. This time we're going to consider a more practical example. So a situation where we have a plumber who charges $60 for a service call. That's $60 just to come out and have a look, and $40 an hour for labour. The first thing we do is create a table of values. So here we have our table of values waiting to be filled in, and we're going to just consider the plumber turning up for 0 hours and then working for 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 hours. So for the plumber to turn up, it costs $60 for you to pay him or her. So $60. Now if he works for an hour, then that takes it to 60 plus 40, so $100. And then if the plumber works for another hour, another $40. And then another $40 for each consecutive hour. So you can see it starts at $60 and it goes up by the same amount each time, $40. There's our table of values. The next step is to plot a graph of the cost against the number of hours. Our number of hours will go across the x-axis, the horizontal axis, and our cost will go up and down the y-axis. Our first pair of coordinates is 0, 60. So we go across 0 and then up to 60. And there's our first point. 1, 100. So the number of hours is 1. So we go across here to 1 and then up to 100. 2, 140. 2 hours along the x-axis, the horizontal axis, and up 140. Then 3, 180. 4, 220. And 5, 260. We've now plotted our points, and you can see we have a straight line. It starts here, it doesn't have an arrow on this end because we can't have a plumber working for less than 0 hours. But it will continue in this direction if the plumber works for more than 5 hours. Now, let's see how we can use that graph to find out some things about this plumber. First of all, let's work out the cost of 2.5 hours work. So, across the horizontal axis was the number of hours. We go across to 2.5, and then we head up to the line. And then across from that line over to the cost, and we read off the cost, and it's $160. Now we can go the other way as well. So we can find out how long the plumber will work for $250. So I start at $250 and I go across to the line, and then from that point I head down and I find that it looks like it's somewhere between 4.5 and 5 hours. In fact, it looks halfway between there, so 4 hours and 45 minutes. So we've gone through the same steps as before. We calculate a table of values, we plot the points, we join the line, and now we can read values and answer questions based on that graph.